tallied the day's harvest or engaged in activities Daniel couldn't identify. Daniel noted that there seemed to be little mixing between the Opiri and the humans. Not a good sign, Daniel thought, in a place supposedly devoted to peaceful coexistence between humans and the beings they used to call vampires. But he didn't have much time to think about it. The humans were passing through one of the doorways at the other end of the courtyard, moving more quickly as if they were eager for food and rest. Again, nobody stopped them, and they entered an open area like an immense railed balcony that was part of a raised causeway circling the inner wall of the city. 2 wide ramps on either side of the landing descended to the lower part of the city. The humans hurried down the ramps, paying no attention when Daniel fell behind. Waiting until all the humans had left the landing, Daniel moved to the railing. His gaze followed the causeway, exactly like the one in Erebus, where bloodlords, of lesser rank but far more common than blood masters, displayed their households in grand promenades, showing off their wealth and power, accompanied by a train of their favorite serfs. Daniel forced himself to look away to the city below. A single main avenue ran through the center of the city, terminating at the base of the largest tower. Unlike Erebus, the former Tartaros's towers were clustered at the far end of the citadel, piercing the half-dome that protected the area from the sun. Once, such towers would have been occupied by the wealthiest and most powerful blood lords and blood ladies, blood masters and blood mistresses, shrouding blocks of lesser buildings in their shadows. Closer in lay the low town, where Opiri of lesser rank would have made their homes, a maze of structures interspersed with plazas and small parks. The town glittered with lights like distant stars. Tanis. Daniel ground his teeth together, resisting the overwhelming emotions that took hold of him in that moment. He hadn't set foot in any citadel since Ares and his allies had helped Daniel and dozens of human serfs get out of Erebus, but he had not forgotten one moment of pain or humiliation, not one day of being chained like a dog or forced to give blood to a ruthless master and other Opiri of his master's acquaintance. This citadel had changed, yes. Half of it was now open to the sky. Human workers left and entered the city without being subjected to checks or examinations. But that didn't mean Tanis was like Delos or Avalon or the other mixed colonies. It would be a miracle if it were.
A lovely sight, is it not?
Daniel stiffened and then forced himself to relax. The woman who had come to stand beside him at the railing spoke softly, without concern or threat. But the hairs at the back of his neck prickled with recognition even before he turned to look at her. The first thing he noticed was her hair, glossy and black as a raven's feathers. It fell past her shoulders and almost seemed to move of its own accord as she spoke, tempting any man within reach to run his fingers through it. But the hair framed something even more remarkable, a face of astonishing beauty by the judgment of human or nightsider. Her chin was firm, her brows finely shaped, her eyes nearly black with the slightest tinge of deepest purple, her lips full. The skin of her face and bare arms was golden bronze. Hints of her figure appeared beneath the layers of her flowing, semi-transparent robes. A hip here, a breast or shoulder there. Daniel had no doubt that this woman's body was as sleek and perfect as her face, hair, and voice. And there was something more about her that Daniel felt all the way down to his bones. A profound charisma, a pull that Daniel had experienced before, and not only in Erebus. Surely she couldn't be what his senses told him, not with hair like that, or eyes so dark or teeth as blunt as any human's. But Ares' hair was just as black, an anomaly among pale-haired, pale-skinned Opiri. And he knew of other anomalies. Daniel, for instance, lacked the sharp nightsider cuspids of his kind, the half-breed offspring of a nightsider father and a human mother. He looked looked nothing like a normal day.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.